Thank you. I think Senator Hoeven has said it well. You know, I don't think any of us expected to be able to support legislation that would be a huge new spending increase, $1.9 trillion back in March, and this one really is over $4 trillion because you have to assume that some of these popular programs will not be sunset, as they never are sunset here in the Congress. So it's unprecedented in terms of the spending, the largest bill ever. And then in terms of taxes, what a terrible time to raise taxes on the American economy and the American worker, American families. So I don't think we expected to support it, any of us, but I think we're really shocked by how bad it is, and particularly the fact that what they have done, I don't know if they meant to do this or not, was provide a huge tax cut for wealthy Americans. Let me give you a data point that is kind of shocking. 2/3 of millionaires, people making over $1 million a year, will get a tax cut under this legislation. 2/3 of people making over $1 million a year will get a tax cut, primarily because of the SALT cap being increased, but other reasons as well. Actually, the number is over 68%, so it's almost 70%. And if you make $30,000 a year, only 30% of people get a tax cut in the first year. After the first year, it's about 10% and goes down from there. So think about that. They're putting forward a bill that not only has this gargantuan new spending and all these tax increases, but the benefit of it goes to the higher end. And I don't think people think that's fair. And so I do hope that the American people look at this and understand that by putting more stimulus in the economy, of course, you're going to increase the demand side, therefore inflation. So that's a huge issue. People I represent are primarily concerned about inflation right now. Of course, we don't want to put taxes on the economy right now as we're trying to get out of this pandemic. But it's even worse than that because it's so skewed toward benefits at the top end. Again, almost 70% of those people making over $1 million a year get a tax cut. If you make $30,000 a year, 30% get a tax cut in the first year, and after that, it's 10% and then less in the preceding years. So it's a shock to me. Here's the other point that I've been looking at that I think is very interesting. The cost of the SALT cap increase is somewhere between $230 billion and $285 billion, depending on which analysis you look at. But it doesn't matter which analysis you look at. It's still $100 billion more for the SALT cap than for the cornerstone social policy in their legislation, which is the child tax credit, right? So when you look at this, the child tax credit is getting $100 billion less than the SALT cap. The SALT cap goes, again, skewed toward the wealthiest. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they meant to do this. That makes it even more surprising to me. I'm not sure they did, but this is what it is. And this is what the American people are going to judge. Does this benefit me? Is this the right thing for our country at this time of high inflation and struggling to get out of this pandemic? I think it's exactly the wrong policy prescription right now. And I hope people will rise up and let folks know in the House and the Senate, this is just not smart. This is not the right way for our country to proceed.